Dear respected Thai, dear Sangha, dear friends, today is the 24th of December in the year 2020, and we are in the Festival of Stars Meditation Hall in the Lower Hamlet on this Christmas Eve afternoon. It's raining outside, and we can hear the raindrops fall on the roof of the meditation hall. It's a lovely and relaxing sound. In 2 hours it will be dark. And if the rain and the clouds go away, we'll be able to see the stars in the sky. Our friends in the East, such as Vietnam, Japan, China, Hong Kong, it's already night. And if the weather is clear, we invite them to look up and see the stars in the sky. The stars have a significance at Christmas time. Some Christmas carols mention the stars in the bright sky look down where baby Jesus lay. Another carol says, "O holy night, the stars are brightly shining." We know that the 3 wise men, the 3 kings from the east, followed the star to arrive at Bethlehem, bringing the gifts of frankincense, myrrh, and gold to the baby Jesus. So stars have a wonderful, inspiring sight for us to look at. They represent the hope and the brightness. Even in the dark sky, they shine brilliantly. Christmas traditionally is a time of honoring love and peace. This love is expressed by being with family, friends, and appreciating the presence of everyone. We're able to show our love in simple ways. By cooking, baking cookies, decorating a Christmas tree, so that its colorful beauty brings joy and happiness to everyone in the house. It's also a time of being able to let go of worries connected with our daily responsibilities. But for many people and families on the earth this year, Christmas is different. It's unlike all other Christmases that we can remember. Many families have lost their loved ones, their father, their mother, their grandparents, friends, and even children during the COVID-19 pandemic that has had an impact on the whole world during this whole year. The worldodometer.com this morning has given us these figures. 79,057,549 people have been infected with the virus, and these are the reported cases. 1,737,751 deaths have resulted from the virus. But the good news is this: 55,648,916 people have recovered. We acknowledge this and we feel compassion for those who have faced these losses of family members, friends, and colleagues. Yes, Christmas is not the same this year, but it can also be not completely different. We are alive. We live in the present moment with our eyes and ears more open to see that there is so much beauty available for us to appreciate and to be nourished by. We can see the drops of rain hanging on the branches of the trees. We see the green grass more vibrant than ever. We hear the birds. So there is still the possibility that happiness can be experienced in the present moment. The wonders of life are still there, as Thai has taught over many, many years. We know that we have the seeds of happiness in our consciousness that are waiting for us to invite them to come up and manifest in our mind so that we can experience that this Christmas can have the beauty, the music, the flavors and the fragrances of Christmases in the past. Although there is confinement and lockdown in some countries, and we may live far from our loved ones, we can see one another and talk to one another, hear one another, thanks to the internet. So communication is still possible. In addition, it's still wonderful that we have our mindfulness practices to be with us during this time. The practice of just stopping for a moment. Whenever we hear the sound of the bell, the telephone ringing, the temple bell, the church bells, this gives us a pause, a precious moment to come back to ourselves and to let our body and mind know that they have each other. They are still together. The breath brings the body and mind together in the present moment. And life can be fully experienced and appreciated in the present moment. Thai would often say in his Dharma talks, the address of life is in the present moment. Mindful breathing lets my mind come back to my body in the present moment. The mind is aware of the body and stays with the experience of the body as the body breathes in and out. Breathing in and out, I am aware of my body and my breathing. When I breathe mindfully for a few minutes, I give my mind and body the experience of peace, of relaxation, and of releasing all stress. Mindful walking gives me the opportunity to move forward with awareness and solidity. Each step that I make is done with love for Mother Earth. I place my feet gently on Mother Earth, and I am aware I am walking on beautiful Mother Earth. My feet give my mind the chance to let go of too much thinking. While my feet do the walking, my mind can rest with the awareness of the breathing or each footstep. We still arrive. With every step I make, I arrive more solidly in the present moment. And mindful walking lets me arrive without having to rush. With every step, I touch peace. Every step is healing, and every step is nourishing. In the present moment, we become more aware of life and all the beauties that are already there, right before us. With our mindfulness energy, we can see more and hear more, and be in touch with these wonderful elements that make life beautiful and peaceful. I would like to invite all of us to pretend that we're children now. Let us take a few moments to be children and creatively imagine that we are going on a 1-month tour of Mother Earth. This will be the month of December. All beings, great and small, live in the same house. This immense and beautiful house is Mother Earth. Let's look at the month of December and see what our other brothers and sisters on this planet are doing, and what celebrations are bringing happiness to them and Mother Earth. This tour will give us the chance to peek out of our little box and appreciate so many other spiritual traditions and celebrations that happen in the month of December. So we're going to interbe for just a few moments and learn more about what actually happens in the month of December. So on the 6th of December, there is the fete, the observation, the celebration of Saint Nicholas in France and in many Western European countries. Nicholas was a bishop in Turkey in the 3rd and 4th century. And on the evening of December 6th, so that would be December 5th, children hang up stockings on the chimney, fireplace, or they put little shoes down for St. Nicholas to fill them. And the children leave out milk, or even I read a glass of warm wine for St. Nicholas. And for St. Nicholas' donkey, they leave out sugar and carrots. And in the morning, the children wake up on December 6th and they find usually small gifts like chocolate or little toys. We know that there is also Father Christmas, who is observed in the UK, in England, and Père Noël in France. So these are other representatives of the Santa Claus that is commercialized and known a lot in North America. So these are earlier versions of giving gifts to children before Santa Claus becomes busy on Christmas Eve, the 24th of December. On the 8th of December is Bodhi Day. So depending on which country you are in, this is the day where the Buddha's complete enlightenment is celebrated. And the Buddha is celebrating the Buddha's enlightenment on the 8th of December. I believe it's always in Japan, this day is for the Buddha's enlightenment celebration. They enjoy making cookies and eating cookies that are in the shape of the Bodhi leaf, so in the shape of a heart, so to speak. They drink tea together and read sutras and reflect on ways to continue their path of Buddhist practice. We know there's another observation of the Buddha's life in spring, either in April or May, depending on which country and what tradition. And this is called Vesak. And the in our tradition, we bathe the baby Buddha with flower-petaled water. And there are a lot of flowers and chanting, and it's a day of great happiness because we celebrate the Buddha's birth, enlightenment, and passing into nirvana or his death on that day. On the 11th of December is the Festival of Lights, and this is Hanukkah. And it's an observance of the Jewish religion commemorating the event when they were free from the domination of the Syrian army. It's an 8-day celebration, and each evening a candle is lit on the menorah. So in the ancient temple, there was only a little bit of oil available, and only enough for a candle to burn for one night. But miraculously, the candles stay lit for 8 days. So that's why in the observance of Hanukkah, 8 candles are lit. It's a time when there's a lot of happiness and joy, and the wish that we send you peace and light on this holiday season. And it's a rededication for their practice. So gifts are exchanged and traditional foods, and it's a time for families to be together. On December 13th is Saint Lucia's Day, Santa Lucia. This is practiced in Sweden and other Scandinavian countries, and even in Sicily. It's a day when young women wear a long white gown and a red sash. And what is so special about this day is they wear a crown of candles. Many candles are worn on the top of their head in a crown. Now, why is this so? Lucy actually was a saint, and she was a young woman, very pure and a devoted Christian. And in the 4th century, many Christians were persecuted for their religion. And they had to go underground, and they lived in tunnels to protect their safety and their lives. So Lucy, brought food to them. And the candles lit the path in front of her. And she wanted to have her hands free so she could carry more food to the people in the caves. So this is a very special festival in Sweden and in Finland, Norway, and Denmark. And I mentioned also in Sicily, Italy. On the 21st of December is the pagan winter equinox, which is the shortest day of the year and the longest night. And it's the official beginning of Christmas on the calendar. December 24th brings us to where we are tonight. It is the birth of baby Jesus. We know he was born in Bethlehem, the city where Joseph and Mary, his mother, Joseph was Mary's husband. So Joseph was born there, and they had to return to Bethlehem for a census count to know how many people were in Bethlehem. And there were not enough places in all the inns for them to have a room. So Jesus was born in a stable where the little animals were. They were refugees. They had no home. And like so many people and children in the world today, we have many refugees on earth. And the United Nations High Commission on Refugees reports that approximately there are 70 million refugees in the world, and approximately 30 to 35 or 40% are children under 18 years of age. We remember many Christmases when Suko Changkang made us more aware of children at Christmas, especially the children in Vietnam. And she would show slides and let us know about the Love and Understanding program in Vietnam, where we could support the children in Vietnam to have education, one hot meal a day. And this work continues. And of course the need is even greater now with more refugees in the world. Tomorrow is December 25th, Christmas Day. And for those of us here in Plum Village, we know it's a little bit like Tet. It's a very happy day. And Tet is the Vietnamese Lunar New Year. It's also the Chinese Lunar New Year. And it's a time to be together, to be happy, to share meals, and to exchange gifts. So we've learned that from our Vietnamese sisters that Christmas in the West reminds them of Tet at home. But it's only one day. December 26th is the beginning of a week-long celebration called Kwanzaa that started in 1966 in the United States. And it's a cultural and spiritual celebrations of the Afro-Americans. And now it is observed by people with African ancestries in many countries. It has 6 special points to recognize the unity, their talents, their culture, their creativity, goals, and to give gratitude for their ancestors, as well as the harvest, the fruit and food that the earth gives. A candle is lit each day, and the community of friends and family, they reflect on the meaning of each of these 6 principles. And finally, we want to share that December has been a holy month for Plum Village because there have been 19 monastic ordinations in the month of December, starting in the year 1990, when Brother Phap Dang, Sister Thuy Nhiem's brother, and Shuko Bao Nhiem were in their first December ordination that Thai made in 1990. So our little tour of the month of December, learning about our other brothers and sisters on this planet and how they nourish their spiritual life and cultural and ancestral appreciation. Our little tour is over. Let us take a moment now to come back to ourselves and enjoy our breathing. Both the Buddha and Jesus gave beautiful teachings on love and on friendship, which we appreciate so much in this season. The happiness of being together is realized when we practice the teachings of love, of inclusiveness, remembering everyone and excluding no one. Jesus' teachings on love are found in the New Testament. It was written in Greek, and the word for love in the Greek language was agape, love. And this kind of love is a universal love. It's a love that is described as selfless. It's a love that includes everyone. It has no judgment, no criticism. It includes forgiveness and pardon. And it seems to me just like the Buddha's teaching on metta. In the ancient Greek culture and after that, there are other expressions of love. There is the friendship, which is philos, like philosophy, the love of wisdom. Philos is a friend. There is storge, which is a kind of love that parents feel for their children. It's another expression of love. It has a caring, looking after, tenderness. But the teachings that Jesus gave were including these, of course, but really the universal love of all beings, all people. For the Buddha, we know love has 4 aspects: lovingkindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity. They inter-are, each contains the other. So, kindness contains compassion, joy, and equanimity. Equanimity contains kindness, compassion, and joy. The joy in terms of love is the kind of joy that has no jealousy. It rejoices at other people's good fortune, good luck, their happiness. Equanimity has the kindness and compassion of not taking sides. We remember one of the lines in Thai's poem called "Please Call Me by My True Names." My joy's like spring, so warm. It makes flowers bloom all over the earth. My pain's like a river of tears, so vast it fills the four oceans. So the love and compassion of the Buddha is so vast like the ocean, and it is expressed in the Metta Sutra. May everyone be happy and safe, and may all hearts be filled with joy. This is a beautiful message for Christmas and the holiday season. It's sending our thoughts of love and peace and joy and goodwill without boundaries to all in the universe. Let our boundless love pervade the whole universe, above, below, and across. Our love will know no obstacles, and our heart will be absolutely free from hatred and enmity. We can practice love with our friends and family members by remembering the 4 mantras that Thai has written and given to us to practice with. The first is, I know you are there and I am happy. The second mantra is, I am here for you. The third mantra to express our love and caring and support is, I know you suffer, that is why I am here for you. And then the fourth mantra is when we know we are loved and we ask those who love us, we say, I suffer, please help. So it calls on the kindness and compassion of those with whom we practice these 4 mantras of love. Friendships are also very important for our happiness and well-being. One day the Buddha was asked by his attendant, Ananda, whether spiritual friendship is half of our spiritual life. And the Buddha answered, no, Ananda, it's not the half, but the whole of our spiritual life. And the Buddha called this spiritual friend a Kalyana Mitra. It's possible to practice as a spiritual friend to those whom we know need our love and support, either in the Sangha, in the community, at home, people in the world, situations. It's possible to be a spiritual friend. And a very, very simple and a short way to do this is we say the person's name, or we think of the situation. We say, may you be happy and peaceful. And then you can add, may you be free from suffering, free from your mental formations of hatred, anger, sadness, depression. But you may do a short version if you don't have a lot of time. So one of the ways to practice this regularly is to make a list before going to bed of people whom you want to offer a metta thoughts of benevolence. You may offer them in the morning, during morning sitting meditation, or before even. And with this list, it will change, of course. You may add more people. Or when you see the things have improved, then that person may not need your metta meditation at this point. Another practice that you may want to consider is to have a gratitude list next to your metta meditation list. And what you can do is, after metta, where you're sending your love and supportive energy to others, you may then read the list where you express your gratitude to those who have been there for you. So in our Sangha, in our community, every day you may find someone who smiles, or who mops the floor, or simply who just says good morning, something very simple. So we can feel gratitude for the simplest things. It doesn't have to be enormous. Small acts of kindness, of recognition, of appreciation, or just being there. And the gratitude list means that I have received from these people, maybe they're metta. I don't know if they're sending metta, but certainly I feel a lot of gratitude to these people in my life. So there's the metta list and then the gratitude list. And I think they make a nice combination. We send the love outward, and then we acknowledge we're receiving the love and support in so many ways. The Holy See of the Roman Catholic Church has issued a book, a long document called Tutti Fratelli. Means brotherhood. Everyone, we're all brothers and sisters. Or let's try to make that possible on the earth, where we look after the poor, the homeless, the refugees, the people who are in desperate situations. And this is a wish that really involves, for us, engaged Buddhism, to be there for others. And it's realizing the love that Jesus taught, we believe, because he was truly in society, as we know of society in those days. He pardoned the, quote, sinners. He did miracles to heal. So there was a great deal of love. And the Christians are called upon to continue the love of Jesus now in their spiritual lives. There is a beautiful Latin two-line chant, I would say, and it's called Ubi caritas e amor. Ubi caritas Deus ibi est. And that is translated as, where there is caring, loving and caring, that's where love is. Where there is caring, there is love. Where there is caring, God is there. That is where God is. And Thai, excuse me, Thai heard the Sangha sing it once, many years ago, and he asked Sister Chanduk to translate it into Sanskrit, so it would be Buddhist. And we hope Sister Chanduk will chant that for us in a future Dharma talk. I don't dare do it now. But it was very beautiful. I wanted to chant it for you now, but my voice is a little bit hoarse, so I don't know if I should do that and ruin it. Ubi caritas e amor, ubi caritas Deus ibi est. Okay, so thank you. We'll hear it again. We will encourage Sister Chanduk to chant it both in Sanskrit, the Christian version, and then the Buddhist version. I just want to end this sharing on friendship with something that Albert Camus, the French journalist and writer, wrote. He wrote, "Don't walk behind me, because perhaps I may not lead. Don't walk ahead of me, because perhaps I may not follow. Just walk beside me and be my friend." Maybe we can hear a sound of the bell now. I listen. This wonderful sound brings me back to my true home. If someone were to ask what practices that the Buddha offered would be helpful to us during the holiday season, we might say that the 16 breathing exercises of the Anapanasati Sutra would be very useful to us for the holiday experience. If we feel stress, if we're tired, we're overloaded with so much to do, let us stop and do the first 4 breathing exercises. We're aware of our breath. We follow our breath, aware of our body, relaxing our body, and releasing any pain or tension we may have in our body. We may have feelings of joy and happiness. Well, that's wonderful. We sing, we enjoy being together, opening a present and being surprised, so we feel joy and happiness. So the 5th and 6th breathing exercise are for feelings of joy and happiness. I'm aware I feel joyful, I'm aware I feel happy. But we also have other feelings that are really identified as emotions or mental formations. And at this time of year, Christmas, sadness can come up fairly easily from childhood experiences of Christmases, from parents' divorce in the past, from the death in the family, and now particularly this Christmas with millions of deaths from the COVID pandemic, and the grieving that is present now in millions of families and friends. So there's despair and depression, and we may not envision a future for ourselves or our loved ones, and we feel helpless and hopeless. So the breathing exercises of number 7 and 8 are the ones that we can think of practicing if we experience these emotions. Breathing in, I'm aware of a painful emotion, a mental formation of sadness or fear or anger or anxiety or despair. Breathing out, I notice the emotion is there. I accept it. I embrace it with my tenderness and compassion. I don't repress it. Don't push it away. I don't run away from it by consuming whatever my habit energies might push me to want to consume. So what we can do to help us transform these mental formations, the strong energies. We let our feet help us. That means we let our feet do some walking. Of course, we're connected to our feet, so we'll be walking with our feet. Think of doing walking meditation. And walk as long as necessary until this energy changes and you feel better. You will feel more peaceful. Recognition, simple observation, acceptance, no repression, embracing, doing a practice that will help the mind concentrate. We won't think while walking. And with the concentration, we'll be able to understand some of the roots, the causes, and then we will find ways to not continue to nourish the causes of the suffering. So this are ways of practicing the number 7 and 8. Breathing exercises 9 or 10 are to make the mind happy. So Christmas gives us the opportunity to sing. And for me, I loved listening to the Messiah, a wonderful composition for a chorus, a soloist, and chamber orchestra written by George Frederick Handel. And there's some beautiful selections from the Old Testament, and it gladdens my mind. For unto us a child is born, for unto us a son is given, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Everlasting, something like that, the Prince of Peace. Okay, so the Messiah is more well known in English-speaking countries, but find whatever source gladdens your mind. It could be playing music, the guitar, the Vietnamese sitar, whatever. Find ways, drawing, writing poems. The mind can go in 1,000 directions, we know that. But on this lovely path, I walk in peace. So when the mind is going in so many directions, we realize that the mind is quite impermanent. So this is the 11th exercise, recognizing impermanence of the mind, and all phenomena are impermanent. Our health, our relationships, we accept the impermanence. And we don't take refuge in our worry or anxiety. We take refuge in the practice. And if we take refuge in our worries and our mental formations of suffering, we are spending too much time with them. So when I spend a lot of time with my dispersed mind or my mental formations of suffering, I'm taking refuge in them. So instead of that, I learn to come back to another island of refuge, my mindful breathing, a mindful walking. And I practice to accept impermanence. Their change will happen. Oh. Number 14 is the disappearance of desire. We can practice breathing in. I'm aware of that my desire is disappearing. So Christmas is a good time. If we've had maybe 2 cookies, and then you say, okay, I've had 2 cookies. That's enough. My desire for more cookies, it's disappearing. So I'm being a little bit optimistic, but okay, 3 pieces of chocolate, that's fine. That's enough. Okay, my desire's disappearing. So we use this mindful breathing exercise to notice different forms of desire when the desire is no longer there, and then we feel more freedom and happiness. The 15th breathing exercise is to recognize the no birth, no death nature of all phenomena. And I like to understand this in terms of continuity of manifestation, ceasing to manifest, and then a remanifestation of all phenomena. And the 16th and the final one is to practice letting go. So we want to let go of, you can make your list of what you want to let go of, but it's letting go of officially our notions, our ideas, our concepts that keep us in bondage, so to speak. We're not free. When we can let go of all of these views, then we are free. You may want to just let go of attachment and aversion, and then you can feel that amount of freedom. So let's experience a moment of pausing and listening to the sound of the bell. May the sound of this bell penetrate deeply into the cosmos, so that living beings, when they hear it, even in the darkest places, may transform their anxiety and their suffering. So, dear friends, when we see a candle and a flame, we notice that they have a relationship, and we can say that they are codependent on one another. The candle needs the flame for it to be a real candle, functioning as a candle. And the flame needs the candle so that it can be a flame. The candle and the flame really are codependent in their functioning. The candle needs the flame to be a candle, to function as a candle, and the flame needs the candle or the wick in order for it to be manifesting as a flame. I would very often show us a box of matches and to say, dear little flame, where are you? Where are you, flame? What is needed for you to manifest? And Thai would add much more to the dialogue. Dear Thai, I am here, I am here. But one more thing is needed. We see that enough conditions are already present. There's enough oxygen, there's the wood of the match, there's the red coating which will help ignite the match, there is the hand holding the match, but one more condition is necessary for a manifestation of the flame. And that is, we have to strike the match. Little flame, we see you have manifested, but where have you come from? You haven't come from the north or the south or the east or the west. We haven't seen you come from anywhere and land on the match. You have simply manifested. And when conditions are no longer favorable, you will cease to manifest. You won't be seen, you won't be a flame anymore, but you will be the smoke rising. So you will have transformed into the smoke, to the moisture. So the flame doesn't die. It hasn't been born and it hasn't died. It has simply manifested and it has ceased to manifest when the conditions were no longer there. There are other examples of codependent arising. For example, a singer and the song arise at the same time. A song needs a singer to truly be a song. If not, it just remains as notes on a piece of paper. It is unheard and silent. A singer needs a song to sing. If there is no song to sing, the singer remains without a song and is also silent. There is the interbeing nature and the codependent nature arising of a singer and the song. The same is true of the bell and the bell inviter. A bell needs a bell inviter in order to be truly a bell, which is to send its beautiful sound in all directions. But the wooden inviter also needs the bell. Otherwise, it can't function. It just remains on the floor. It can't help the bell to send a beautiful sound. So they are codependent. And the inviter and the bell function together at the same time. So that we know that in this special Christmas season, we love to sing Christmas carols, and the love and the peace and the joy that are in the music and the words of the Christmas carols bring us the messages at the same time. They are in the teachings of Jesus, and Buddha at the same time. There's a wonderful, beautiful gatha that Thai has written. Forgetfulness is the darkness, but mindfulness is the light. I bring awareness back to shine upon all light. You know, we can feel gratitude even for the darkness. When we light a candle in the darkness, the light will dispel the darkness. The light embraces the darkness, and the darkness becomes light. We feel gratitude for the darkness, so the light can shine bright. There is a line in one of Thai's poems that says, "Let us pray for the darkness, O sparkling stars, that the darkness becomes deeper, O innumerable twinkling stars." O holy night, the stars are brightly shining. When we have experienced suffering, the ending of suffering is great happiness. Like the stars shining brightly in the dark sky at night, we feel gratitude for so many conditions that have brought about the ending of suffering. And we know our practice will lead us to the ending of suffering when we practice the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Noble Paths. We feel so much gratitude for our mindfulness practice, transmitted to us by so many generations of great beings, the Buddhas, the Bodhisattvas, and the great teachers such as Jesus Christ and other great teachers of different spiritual traditions. We feel gratitude for our spiritual friends on the path, our communities, our congregations, and our sanghas, with whom we live and continue to practice together to bring love, peace to ourselves and to the world. From our gratitude we wish, may all beings on Mother Earth be happy and peaceful, and their hearts be full of joy. Respectful of countless Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and spiritual ancestors, I calmly light this candle, brightening the face of the earth. Merry Christmas. Chúc Giáng sinh vui vẻ. Joyeux Noël. Que la Christ vienne.